Ratification is an agreement or confirming something. When Americans realized that the Articles of Confederation wasn't working, they created the U.S. Constitution. It has to be ratified or approved by 9 of the 13 states. Ratification was not going to be easy. A public debate erupted in each state. Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and James Madison wrote 85 essays contributing to the Federalist Papers. Hamilton wrote 52, Madison wrote 28, and Jay wrote 5. The Federalist Papers were written to urge the ratification of the Constitution. The Great Debate then started against the Federalists and Anti-Federalists. Delaware, New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, Maryland, South Carolina, Massachusetts, Virginia, and New York joined to ratify the Constitution. The Federalists wanted a strong central government. The Constitution was required in order to safeguard the liberties and independence of the American Revolution. They believed that the greatest threat to the future of the United States did not lie in the abuse of central power, but could be found in the excesses of democracy. In addition to foreign threats, the Federalists believed that the weak Confederation government under the Articles also encouraged fighting between the states that seemed to be in constant competition with one another. Arguments expressed by the Federalists was that the Articles of Confederation could not protect the nation and provide for its defense in an emergency. Let the 13 states bound together in a strict and indissoluble union, argued Hamilton in Federalist No. 11, concur in erecting one great American system. John Jay expressed this view in Federalist No. 4 when he stated, "Leave America divided into 13, or, if you lease, into 3 or 4 independent governments. What armies could they raise and pay? What fleets could they ever hope to have?" James Madison No. 10, Federalist Papers, argued that a larger republic would not lead to greater abuse of power. This took place between December 1787 through January 1788.
Who were the Anti-Federalists? Their leaders were Patrick Henry and George Mason. They believed Federalists had overstated the current problems of the country. They argued that the document would give the country an entirely new and untested form of government. They relied on the rhetoric of the Revolutionary War era to support their arguments. They even feared that the Constitution gave the president too much power and that the proposed Congress would be too aristocratic in nature, with too few representatives for too many people. They criticized the Constitution for its lack of Bill of Rights, of the kind that had been passed in England in 1689 to establish and guarantee certain rights of the Parliament and of the English people against the King. They argued the Constitution would spell into all forms of self-rule in the states. In the ratification debate, the Anti-Federalists opposed to the Constitution. They complained that the new system threatened liberties and failed to protect individual rights. The Anti-Federalists weren't exactly a united group, but instead involved many elements. One faction opposed to the Constitution because they thought stronger government threatened the sovereignty of the states. Others argued that a new centralized government would have all the characteristics of the despotism of Great Britain they had fought so hard to remove themselves from. And still others feared that the new government threatened their personal liberties. During the push for ratification, many of the articles in opposition were written as Brutus, Sentinel, and Federal Farmer. But some famous revolutionary figures, such as Patrick Henry, came out publicly against the Constitution. Although the Anti-Federalists were unsuccessful in the prevention of the adoption of the Constitution,